But yeah, so yeah, man, those things were inspirations to me.
That's what's up.
Inspirations to me to step out and do my own like music based business and try to expand into that market and what have you. So tell me, what was the inspiration? I'm taking you all the way back. And I know you told these stories a dozen times, but every time I hear you tell these stories, I always hear something different. You always approach it a different way. There's always some different revelation, some different nuggets that come out of the story every time you tell. But how did you get? What was the premise for Loose by C-Dub? How did we get there?
Man, all right. So a long time ago, I'm talking like 2010, probably.
Wow.
Maybe before that, man. I had started making loops. I just had this idea to just make a whole bunch of click tracks, right? And so,
Yeah.
but it was gonna be called gospelclicktracks.com.
Really?
And so, yeah, and so I made like 30 or 40 of them, and I was like, man, ain't nobody even using loops like this, man. I was like,
Wow.
I just put it on a hard drive and I just left them there for a while, right?
Yeah.
And so then later on, like 2013, I started playing for Bishop Morton.
Okay.
And we used to use the MPC
Mm-hmm.
all the time. And then one Sunday, the MPC wouldn't show anything on the screen. It was just a blue screen, right? We couldn't navigate nothing. But we had got so used to using loops. I was like, you know what? I got some on my hard drive. Maybe some of those will work with some of what we're using, you know. And so I started playing them from my computer. And we did so many songs at changing, like I'm talking 11 songs a Sunday. It was every Sunday.
Wow. 11 different songs?
11 different songs every Sunday.
Dang.
Yeah, well, I'll take that back. 4 of them were like the same for the month.
Yeah.
The rest
Okay.
of them were different. Yeah.
Jeez.
And so, and so I made so many loops, and I was like, man, I wonder if anybody else want to use these. You know, I
Right.
had like 100. You know,
Yeah.
and I wasn't even 100. It was like 70 or something like that.
Yeah.
So, man, I literally back then, you know, iWeb was on the Mac, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I remember iWeb.
So yeah, and so I just went on iWeb. I created a one-page website. I found me an MP3 player online that could sell MP3s. I went outside. I did like this with my phone. Snapped a picture. Put that picture on there. Put the MP3 player on there, and posted on Facebook. Hey y'all, I got some loops for 99 cents if anybody want to use them.
Wow.
And I'll never forget my first Sunday, man. I was on the way to church, barely making it because I didn't have that much gas money.
Gosh.
And I looked at my PayPal, and 5 people bought loops. And I was like, somebody really just paid me 99 cents for these loops. I was like, this is crazy.
Wow.
I was so hyped. I stopped. I'll never forget. I stopped by KFC on the way home, and I paid for my meal with that $5. You know they got $5 meals.
Yeah. Wow.
And man, I was like, some people be like $5, man. No, it was the fact that $5 hit my account, and I was just sitting there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You weren't doing
I
nothing.
was so hyped, man. I was so hyped. The next Sunday it was like $13. You
Wow.
couldn't tell me nothing, man. You couldn't tell me nothing after that, man. I was like, okay, this is what this is what I want to do. And so I did that for a while through that MP3 player. And one of my friends was like, man, you need to turn this into an app. I was like, man, I don't know nothing about no apps.
Right.
Man, I'm just gonna keep it like this. It's doing good.
Yeah.
It's making a little money. I'm just gonna just keep it like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
He told me that for a year. And then finally one year, he said, man, if you don't create an app for this, I'm going to do it and I'm going to sell it to you. And I was like, you know what? I ain't going to go out like that.
Yeah.
So he literally made me start my Loose by C-Dub app. And he helped me get started with it. He managed the whole project.
Wow.
And some of y'all know him, but a lot of y'all know him. TJ Haynes from Piano Clubhouse. That's
Wow.
like my mentor. That he's the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing right now.
Wow.
Like, seriously. And so, yeah, he pushed me into the app game, and yeah, we support each other now all the time. So yeah,
that's great.
That's that story.
So okay, so let me rewind then. Because I think there's a little known fact that a lot of people don't know, because that is where I do remember my first introductions to C-Dub was through Piano Clubhouse.
Yeah.
And I don't think a lot of people know that because that was pre-Loose by C-Dub, right? And then it was even during the tenure when you was like starting to really build, you were doing those tutorials and stuff. So how did that connection happen, and how did you get to that?
Well, I played at Friendship West Baptist Church in Dallas with TJ.
Oh,
a
okay.
long time ago.
Yeah,
like in 2006 or something like that. Even before that. And so when I moved here, we kept in touch, and he was telling me about this tutorial site he wanted to start. Matter of fact, I feel real bad because he actually wanted me to help him start it. And man, I'm kicking
Wow.
myself to this day because I just didn't see the vision. I just did
Wow.
not, man. And so he just did it himself. He just started doing tutorials, but then he asked me if I would do something for him.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. And so, man, I was doing so. I mean, I probably got at least 500 or 600 tutorials on the site now.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
And that's how our relationship started. And I just made a bunch of tutorials, and so people never really saw my face, but I would always say, "Hey, this is C-Dub with Piano Clubhouse." And so when I started my first YouTube page, well, my only YouTube page, when I moved to Atlanta, I was just really just trying to get a job.
Right.
You know, so I made a video of me playing so I could send to these people on Craigslist to try to get a job at the church. But when I said, you know, when I put on there that my name was C-Dub, I started getting all these people like, "Hey, are you the C-Dub from Piano Clubhouse?" And that's how my YouTube page really, I mean, I don't really think it blew up, but I got a little popular on YouTube from that.
Yeah.
And
all the Keybase playing tracks,
right.
Keybase shared tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gosh.
So yeah, Piano Clubhouse is really what set the stage for. That's like my foundation of what made me go in the direction that I'm going right now. Even back then, I remember back then on YouTube, you could feature somebody else's video
right
on your page. And I remember he did my he featured my Rihanna Shout Bump video on his page. 1,000 views a day. And that's when everybody started kind of knowing about C-Dub.
That's crazy.
Video. Yeah,
that's crazy. So that's amazing to see the connection. Almost, you know, because of course I see how God works in it. You know, we see the hand of how He does it. So He brings you in, connects you with this dude back, you know, way back when. At a church that you guys are playing at. Yeah. You move to Atlanta, y'all keep in touch. He says, "Hey man, I got this site that I'm trying to start and trying to build up, blah, 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 Piano Clubhouse. You want to do it?" Of course, you're just like, "Yeah, boom," you jump and do it. And then that fast forwards ends up just the strength of that connection built is what drives you into, what is it, 2014, 2015, creating the Loops by C-Dub app, just by way of connection. And building that network, so to speak, of with that.
Man. Look, I'll give you one even better.
Okay.
Because not only did he, you know, guide me in that direction, but when I tell you he managed my project of getting the loops out, finished, but even to this day, this is gonna sound crazy when I say this, but he works for me.
Wow.
Now, don't get me wrong, he don't have to.
Yeah.
It ain't like he have to work for me, but that's how we work together.
That's
I did
crazy.
A lot of stuff for him back in the day. I helped him build what he was building, you know, and now he turned it right back around. This is what you don't see black people doing.
Come on.
In business, you know, the other people do it all the time. But you don't see us. We get ours and we move on. We don't mention nobody. We don't say nothing about nobody. Act like we did it by ourselves. No, this dude literally to this day, he's the one when you get loops on the app, he's the one putting them on there. He uploads. He's the one sending out the emails. He's always been a supporter of me, man, and we support each other to this day.
Crazy.
So it's like, you know, it is, man. It is like amazing to me, and
now
that's
that I never know.
That's how I'm trying to be with people. It's not about, you know, getting what you got and just hiding.
Exactly.
You know, no, help somebody else.
Exactly.
Like I said, he don't have to do it.
Let's
get that straight. But he enjoys it, and we have such a good relationship, man. We like best friends for real.
That's crazy though. Yeah. Like I never would have thought that. So that's that, and I'm pretty sure it's a lot of other people that probably was a mind blowing moment right there because. But that shows you the strength, and I preach this all the time, and that's a lesson I think that, like you said, we can definitely learn from in our culture. Not just African American church culture, because African American culture in terms of business can be doggish, but black church musician culture can be even more doggish. And so I think what I've always said this, that, you know, your network will determine your net worth,
man.
And so, you know, it's those little things of building relationships with people that can, you know, something simple as, "Hey man, I need your help on doing this or creating this or playing on this or playing on that or recording this or recording that, or you know, that those connections, because when you make it to your level of success, you remember those that helped you get there,
Right. Yeah,
and you
of
want to
course.
bring them along with it, and vice versa. As they go up, they want you. It's a network, you know, and you got to build it, you know. And I think, like you said, that's where we fell at in our culture, is that we refuse to network with each other and build with each other and share resources and share, you know, platforms and do all of those different things like that, because I don't know where that meant. I don't know if it goes all the way back to slavery mentality, slavery days, how we were kind of isolated and siloed away from each other, and we would kind of had to make it and claw our own way out, and that thing just kind of just filtered down through DNA, you know, all the way down to us now, where we're just still in this whole mentality. But I think that's super dope, man. I think that's super dope how you guys built that relationship, and that relationship matured and built into something to where now this guy is literally like the foundation. You started as the foundation of what he was doing, and now he's become the foundation of what you're doing.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
And when it happens like that, you know, it'll keep going. That's the thing about it, because if you really are a humble person and you don't, you know, try to act like you did it by yourself.
Exactly.
I can't do that. I can't. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I built what I have by myself when I know that I have people to help me. So I'm gonna keep doing the same thing, and then the person that I do that with is gonna do the same thing.
Exactly.
And the person is just gonna keep going. So it really stretches way past just you. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah. Man, that's amazing.